So Pirelli are going to run a kind of experiment soon, and apparently this is bad news for Red Bull. Of course, Red Bull getting that shock victory last time out of the Japanese Grand Prix. Max Verstappen with arguably one of his best wins in Formula 1, and he's got a lot to choose from, over 60 in total, third all-time on that list. But will this celebration, will this surprise be short-lived? Well, let's have a look at what this Pirelli tyre test means for the defending world champion. Not in the constructors, of course, McLaren. We got that for now. but in the drivers, of course, Verstappen's still defending that title and going for 5 in a row. So let's see what has been said here, guys. Full article on the F1Chronicle.com as always. Pirelli will run an experiment in a move to prevent repeats of the processional Japanese Grand Prix. Suzuka was resurfaced ahead of the 2025 race, and coupled with the ever quicker cars and the hardest tyre compounds, almost no overtaking whatsoever occurred. Ferrari boss Frederic Vasseur predicts more of the same later this season. Yes, it will probably be a qualifying championship, said the Frenchman. Hard compounds will again be supplied this weekend in Bahrain, but the situation is very different to Suzuka. Much higher temperatures and inherent tyre wear, and on top of that, it's a very abrasive track too, thanks in part to all the sand that gets blown on from the desert, so it's a very different track to this, but yeah. Hard compound tyres, it could well be a one-stop again. I could see that. Beyond that, according to Automotor und Sport, Pirelli intends to adjust some of its intended original selections and supply softer compounds at the forthcoming races. Journalist Michael Schmidt said that it will begin with an experiment in both Miami and Imola, a shift to softer tyres. The brand new super soft C6 compound will even be seen in Imola. I think originally that was only going to be in place in Monaco. If the experiment is a success, this could set a trend for the future, he added, explaining that Pirelli will confirm the news officially on Wednesday. I'm recording this on Thursday. I've not heard it yet, but I'm sure it'll come soon. We could even get softer tyres for the rest of the season. It is bad news for Red Bull, whose car is much more tyre hungry than the McLaren. There are a lot of slow corners in Bahrain, said Schmidt, and if you have a problem there, you really have a problem. Well, it's not going to affect Bahrain this weekend. I mean, the tyre wear will be higher in Bahrain, so that will probably suit McLaren and some other teams more than Red Bull. But in terms of those other soft tyres coming in, I mean, yeah, I'm wearing the shirts. This probably seems a bit disingenuous, but I do think that softer tyres, maybe not for Miami. I mean, Miami, I don't think we have a real problem with it being a boring race there. I think it's just a boring track, personally. That's just my opinion. Imola is a magnificent circuit, but in modern day Formula 1, it doesn't produce very good races. It's very difficult to overtake there. So having some softer tyres there, I think, is a good experiment. I think that's a good idea. I'm not too convinced about Miami, to be. I mean, it is shaking it up a bit. It is a street circuit, sort of. I mean, it's a car park track, really, for being honest here. But Imola, yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think we should see how that goes, because that is a circuit where we get a decent amount of tyre wear. I mean, it's not too high, but we'd still get some. So I think it's worth a go at the end of the day. Be interested to see how it kind of goes and if that C6 compound is used, because the thing is, even though we had no tyre wear in Japan, everybody did a one-stop, and barely anybody used the soft compound tyre in the race. I think, was Lance Stroll the only guy to do it, and he did a two-stop, and everybody else did a one-stop? I think that's the only guy that did it. Even Kimi Antonelli, who ran so long on those mediums, he stuck a set of hards on for the end of the race. So yeah, I don't think people will use them. But maybe having the C5 and the C4 there, C4, bringing back to my Call of Duty days or something there. But yeah, if they use the C4 compound tyres and the C5s, then maybe that'll be more in line with a two-stop race around Imola. I don't know, we'll see. I'll be interested to see if we're going to have a two-stop race in Bahrain as well, because it's a lot hotter. And the tyre wear around that track is a lot more. So, your thoughts in the comments below, guys. What should Formula 1 do? Is Japan going to be a sign of the season to come? I hope not. You know, if it is, what we could have is a really weird season like 2010. Remember 2010? Probably a lot of you guys weren't watching back then, but I was. And we had a four-way battle for the championship between Hamilton, Alonso, Webber, and Vettel. Even Button was kind of in there a little bit as well. But we had a four-way battle for the championship going into the final round in Abu Dhabi, and that's the only time that's ever happened. It's never happened before, never happened since. Four-way showdown like that. And it's weird. I mean, people might disagree with me, but because we had the Bridgestone tyres, The actual racing for the most part during 2010 was actually pretty boring, but it was a really good championship battle. So could we see that again this year, where we've got a close championship, but the actual racing action isn't very good? I mean, maybe I'm looking back in, I don't know what the opposite to rose-tinted spectacles are, but maybe I'm looking back in it like that. But I remember 2010 being a really boring season. It's the only thing that was exciting about it was the championship battle. Actually, watching the races themselves was not very entertaining. Could we see a repeat? I hope not. But a four-way battle going into Abu Dhabi in the final round? Yeah, I'd take that. Your thoughts in the comments below, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you want to see some more like this. And yeah, have a great day ahead. And let's hope for a non-qualifying championship in 2025.